It's about 2 o'clock, and he just woke up. We're at Rich Doyle's. It's about 2 o'clock. He just woke up. He works at a restaurant a lot, and he's kind of too tired to make his statements, but he's picked up a guitar. Here's some of the artwork that I did all over his kitchen shortly after I was at the War Memorial. I began to have all this strange things happening to me. Art. It's as though his kitchen was the cosmos. And you can see stars all over the ceiling. See them? And I even painted his refrigerator, see? There's little hearts.
It's time to get up, America. It's time to
he's gonna do something.
It's time to get up, America. It's time to get up, and wake up, and let's go play and make this place a better place. Oh, it's time to wake up, America. Yeah. Well, I was asleep for years and years on beers and beers, and then I woke up when I saw Deep Dish TV. Now I'm waking up, I want to wake up with you. So wake up, America, wake up, Deep Dish TV.
Yeah, the first I heard about it, I just parked in front of the building there. I looked up, and here was this artwork that really grabbed my attention off the street. And just a few minutes later, I read the paper, came to find out that it's a big controversy, and there are people that are trying to get him to take it down. So I immediately went in and encouraged him to leave it up. Just this community needs to have its mind open a little bit. They're a little closed. Anything they don't like, they try to get rid of it. And so I told him, I said, you know, if I could have afforded to buy anything in there, I would have, just to support him economically. I figured I'd give him a little moral support anyway. I'm glad they showed the courage to leave it up as long as they did, and I hope they continue showing good art, because the amazing thing is that you know, the art itself seemed to be, you know, opposed to what people were accusing of promoting violence. And obviously the artist was a critic of violence. And
do you think that was in part what the art is about, actually, is a sort of sarcasm or irony or something like Twain or something? As I'm thinking, it's like a parody of violence, really.
That's what I thought. I'm not an art critic, but you could see there were a few clues on the canvas there to let you know that it was definitely a parody.
Right.
And even if it wasn't, you know, it's they've got every right in the world to put it up there.
Right.
And here's all these people using their freedom of expression to try to shut down the freedom of expression of the people that are running that store. I think it's great that they put that up there. I hope they have more art come in and help open up the community.
Right.
This is Rich Doyle, and my name is Greg Beckley. We're with the group Cold Mountain Cold Rivers, the local non-profit corporation that specializes in media and human rights and environmental issues. Always concerned with issues of censorship, and we have been, despite the corporate censorship of the Missoulian, we have gotten little dribbles of news about some art out in Hamilton, and I guess it was yours, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about it while you work.
Well, the painting that caused the most trouble was called Family Fun, and it was about, had a couple clad in, S&M clothes on a bare bed springs with rats underneath, a TV in the corner, and pictures of the children, our children, and they were the rats. And it is a statement against passing on sadomasochistic fantasy and behavior, and it is against that. If you have any kind of sense of what irony is in storytelling or narrative, you would probably appreciate the painting, but if you don't, you wouldn't.
So could I be so bold as to suggest that the people who criticized your work for not upholding American values maybe could read some Mark Twain and learn a little bit about maybe something like irony, satire, humor?
Right. There's a huge body of people who don't get that. Then on the other hand, it was a shock for that community to see work like that. And it was quite the strange decision to leave my work there. I'm just really breaking out and starting, and I haven't had any trouble in museums. I've been welcome to museums. The director said they love the shows. But that is more of a closed situation. The director made it public art. He put it in his window, but he was treating me just like everyone else.
There wasn't any special treatment for you as an artist. It was just you were another artist going to his gallery, right?
Yeah, and so the other artwork is in his gallery is landscapes and more familiar type genre to hinterlands. I think Missoula's, probably citizens of Missoula wouldn't have trouble with it, but it's just so new that they just decided they couldn't handle it.
Now, it doesn't look like, we're here today, and we've got photographic evidence that appears to suggest, video, that you're not really promoting a culture of violence. Or I don't know, though, what are you going to do with this poor bull is the question.
I know. Well, I like to use, there's another artist that used stuffed toys, and I really liked what he did with toys and refuse. They remind you of your childhood, and I find everybody finds sources in their childhood for their art. And so these guys are going to be like little sacrificial dudes for the animals, like ward away dudes.
I see. Like totem pole, or like in the Buddhist temples, they've got the guardians outside, etc. So it does have could have deep religious.
Like
even outside of the Mormon tabernacle, they probably have something, right?
And here we had the remnants of the animal that you dial a sound, zebra noise or something. I don't know.
Well, we did one. I had a photograph. I should have brought it. It was of the buffalo. They were shooting the buffalo coming out of Yellowstone.
Oh, yeah?
And we made a lottery thing out of it, because it was a lottery to go kill them, so it was like Buffalo Lotto, life and death,
Yeah.
Pretty.
Well, you must have heard about the buffalo escape to Big Piney, where I live. Near where I live, the father took his son out and they plugged it. And it has the same protection as a gopher does.
So anyway, do you have any special message for the citizens of Hamilton?
Well, let's see. What's the? You know what? Well, I met all the cool citizens, and there are a lot of them.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid. There are a lot of, and I am so amazed that they spoke up, and I'm impressed. Because where I live, the liberals do not speak up.
Right. So,
and they're not afraid of it. The only one repercussion that happened, they had kind of an opening party yesterday for me there. They invited all their friends, and they wanted to get chairs, and big chairs wouldn't be rented to them from this other conservative group. They're trying to crush Peter a little bit.
Right.
So
people just stand up or sit on the floor.
But I didn't meet the other guys, which I have a good idea of what their line of thought is. But the neat people in Hamilton needed to be, you know, praised, and they like really like it. Some people got more business, and they were enjoying it. They said they really enjoyed it.
Okay.
So.
And what about? I mean, okay. Now what about?
Tell that town and get with it.
Now, violent images maybe that might appear in your art. You know what I mean? This is very important.
Theater
I mean,
tends to have all my readjusted Christian myths. I do all kinds of myths, including pagan, and I'm kind of like into finding out the roots of all these things. They're all kind of passed down. So I remembered, I mean, when you study art history, you're so fascinated by all these martyred people.
Right.
And Saint Sebastian is there, and in the one they don't like, there's the crucifix. There's the crucifixes in it. So why are we so fascinated with suffering? You know, why don't we get over it?
Right.
That's what I want to say. Get over it, quit suffering, and have a good time.
It is Easter, by the way, and here we are with the Easter toy.
Yes.
We're having a pretty good time, right?
Yeah, right. It's like, now I bet a lot of people think this is absolute icky trash, but it can be art, you know. I mean, it is the same, you know. It is. If it was made out of bronze, everybody would say, wow, cool.
And if it was buried in some Minoan culture, right?
Yes, and now it's going to be stuck to a tree. So we're doing it close to where the children play and live, and we thought that this would be more suitable than where the more serene type live down the road, but we had to say something.
What now? But you know, as nice as it is, we're still dealing with bondage issues here.
I'm like wiring stuff to another wire.
And how does say the oppression of other people in these sort of sadistic or masochistic ways works too, relate to nature and our relationship with nature?
Really?
That's another good question.
Yes, it is a good question. I think that we're here trying to do a compromise with nature in this project. I think what we need to do is get rid of the sadomasochistic model, because it is destructive to us and the planet. Because, you know, I guess it's, you know, in other words, we're making the whole planet, whole globe suffer. And for some reason we think that's going to make it better. But I don't think, realistically, it does not make it better. It does not make us better to hurt each other. Or to hurt ourselves. So we just need to get rid of that and get more balanced, centered. You've heard those cool words before, and get rid of that model, because it's just destructive, and it's going to destroy this planet. I think in an old, like a sadomasochistic model, we would go out and kill a beaver here. You know?
And that does seem to be the prevailing model of this society, wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
it relates to aggression. It relates to aggression and guilt a lot, don't you think?
Yeah.
And of being feeling unworthy. And it does seem there's a positive feedback system built in, that we look around, we realize we are unworthy, then we want nature to spank us, kind of thing, you know. So but the whole thing starts degenerating.
It's a bad cycle. So it's like gone. It actually I made the art to get rid of that cycle. And that's in Hamilton right now. And for my personal, you know, use, yes, it has, you know.
Sure.
And hopefully the viewers, when they understand that, they go, oh, this is not good. These, whether they're fantasies, or they're a big steamroller, you know, they can take a walk. Somehow we can build something else that's a little bit nicer.
So, I guess for right now, one thing we could do is to make fun of some of this stuff, right?
Yeah. See, that's one way of getting rid of it.
Right. Is to make fun of it, right?
Yeah.
And to bring it out to light. It's like time to bring the rats out of the closet, right?
Right. It is, and if you don't identify it, laugh at it, you start to bury it, and then you don't know it's there, and you start being a robot, you know. So it's a lot of. I mean, gee, I had to research a lot in psychology. Being a teacher for so long, I even was a mostly disturbed expert for a while. And
what do you mean by emotionally disturbed expert? That has a double meaning.
Well, no, I was in charge of testing kids for being emotionally disturbed. I was the watchtower of, are they acting right?
We can cut, we've got, I don't know what magazine we'll be able to cut to there. Anyway.
Yeah, so that was one of my jobs I had, and I also was a you know, occupational therapy technician. Art people can do anything.
They have to do everything, right?
So it was one of the jobs. But I found I was getting kind of upset at my job when the mothers were hitting their kids in front of me.
Yeah.
So I got kind of like checked out and went to get my MFAs.
Yeah. Time to change venues a little bit, right? Let somebody
Yeah.
else deal with it for a while.
Yes. Just get out of it. But
And you're living where now?
in Pinedale, Wyoming.
Pinedale,
A town
Wyoming.
of 1,000 people south of Jackson Hole. And it's going to be winter till June.
Okay.
So, I'm in an art group. We have there's Sue and Dwayne and I all live together as a trio. And we do interactive guerrilla type art too. So.
Well, it sounds like if you're interested in this and you want to get out of, we're developing good connections with a bunch of artists in El Salvador, okay? And maybe some winter you'll want to come down
Yes,
there
I
and do
would.
guerrilla art.
Yeah.
These people did very good guerrilla art.
One of our latest pieces, Sue will have to give you a piece, is the Back Alley Vasectomy Kit. So, you know, it's
Great, thanks.
usually men kind of...
Thanks. Well, like we got at the beginning, we could make one out of this. But.
I'm curious a little about a few more details about the story in Hamilton. Was it taken to local government, the issue, or?
Oh yeah. In fact, they're working on a new law.
Oh, great.
I didn't really know this until I saw this article on Peter's table, and I said, they're actually going to write up a new ordinance to maybe try to prevent it from happening again.
Oh, to keep
There
you
are
out of
people-
town.
Yeah. So that's up in the air. So you know, it
So
probably shouldn't be dropped yet.
Yes. You know,
Nobody's been able to write an obscenity law yet, have they? I mean,
That's
just sort of
ridiculous.
up in the air. There's no nudity in these things. Let's see, just the fact that she's tied up. They're wearing.
but what
masks.
about cartoons?
Yes.
Snidely
well,
Whiplash, right?
Right.
You know, all those things.
Well, how about Mighty Mouse?
Yeah.
What about, well, okay, who was else? Oh, Betty Boop. That was S&M all the way.
Yeah.
I really liked those when I was a kid. I didn't know better.
Right.
So, yeah, I finally know better.
So it went to city council or something like that?
Yeah, and they're going to work on a new ordinance.
Oh, that's funny.
They told Peter to take them out of the window. Well, the 2 weeks are up, and they're out of
So
the
the
window
government, the government? How do you say it?
Government.
And you say it in German or is it?
Bundestag.
What is it called?
Bundestag.
Okay.
Who went to Peter? The government?
Peter Trump is the owner of the gallery,
Yeah?
and there's an article in the Missoulian or some paper that, and he said, yeah, they are. The city attorney and stuff, they're going to write up a new ordinance.
Okay.
They're looking, so they really didn't have anything on the laws right now. They haven't been prepared for it or whatever.
So now it's time to really make our move into the Hamilton art scene, isn't it?
They got a great window display there. I said, hey, you could have somebody living in that window.
Right.
You could do some great things there. You know, I just wish they'd truck all the Hamiltonians that don't like this to New York right now and check out the biennial. Contemporary art is something. Even like, Dwayne and I have done eco kind of art where we took bad Kmart paintings of the Tetons and poured tar over them and glued little airplanes and tanker toys on them. We had them showing in areas like Hamilton, in other words, Pinedale. And those people, they can't handle that.
Well,
I know, I don't, some people think that kind of thing is sick. And I hear that word a lot. And I go, well, I like being this way.
Right.
And I like my sense of humor. I mean, and you guys, you've got to know where my sense of humor came from. I was raised on Indian reservations, and have you ever met those people that have a great sense of humor? And I think it got
we're real
passed off.
we're
and all my paintings try. I mean, I wanted to be a stand-up comedian last summer, and I said I watched hours of comedy shows, and I said, well, I'll probably get stage fright. And you need lots of practice. You should be doing this from birth, maybe. Excuses like that. And I said, wait a minute, I do this with my paintings. So, what's wrong, here? So that was. Finally, I realized I was doing it. I think you should put it on. I think it should be on. You found it here.
Right, it's part of nature.
Yeah, it's become
It's the water
So,
It's good. It's the water.
so have you actually laughed at your own paintings?
Oh yeah, I just sit there and laugh. You know, I had done that for a long time. Where's my little screwdriver? You got that?
I just got
Pliers?
this.
Oh, there.
And this is.
Yeah, you could
this
really
is.
get decorative.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I can,
I
like,
do laugh at myself.
I can. Okay.
And,
speaking of mutilation and.
And I get a lot of my ideas playing the piano.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like that.
afterwards, juggling helps and all that.
March 29th, 1993. To the editor. Last week, Don Williamson, administrative assistant of the City of Hamilton, City Attorney James A. Haynes, Mayor Laurel Hegstead, and 3 concerned citizens approached me and the manager of Lady Berkeley Art Gallery in connection with the gallery's display of one of Pip Brant's acrylic paintings entitled Family Fun. The city's official position is that although it does not have an ordinance prohibiting obscenity, Family Fun should be removed from the display window facing Main Street because if the city did enact such an ordinance, Family Fun would be obscene. The gallery disagrees with the city's opinion. Lady Berkeley Art Gallery maintains contractual ties with certain artists, locally, regionally, nationally, and internationally recognized for their contribution to fine art. The gallery is in business to display art from a variety of cultures for sale to a worldwide clientele of art collectors, connoisseurs, students of art, and those whose endorsement of Socrates' dictum, "The unexamined life is not worth living," has brought them to the Lady Berkeley. I doubt very much that the city of Hamilton would wish at this time to entertain another harassment suit, but this is a litigious nation, and the Bitterroot Valley does receive its allotment of electronic stress, which clouds the brain with infinite interference fantasies. If it be so that Pip Brant's Family Fun has been shown nationwide and was shown publicly for 1 month last fall at the University of Montana's UC Gallery, then it is not true that it violates Montana obscenity statutes. If scenes of bondage are to be prescribed by law, then the citizenry could cry out for the removal of every sculpture and painting even vaguely suggestive of the crucifixion of our Lord and Savior. The narcissism compounded of credulity, superstition, and fanaticism, as William Hogarth depicted in 1762 and currently being exhibited at Lady Berkeley, has always given religion a bad name. For the good of art, art lovers, and the freedom guaranteed by the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, may I suggest that dispassion, peace, love, tolerance for what may at first seem bizarre, judge not that ye be not judged, discrimination between the eternal and the ephemeral, the real and the unreal, and the guiding light of reason, exalted through the intuition of the secret heart, be allowed to supersede the lower emotional states which have heretofore been voiced. The critique of scientific, philosophical, literary, artistic, and religious innovation and expression is most objectively and efficiently accomplished by women and men whose education and experience in a particular discipline qualify them as critics. If one should have a burning desire to determine authoritatively what is art, there is an avenue open to all, the PhD in art history. The gallery's interpretation of Family Fun is that Pip Brant is showing the viewer a post-technological society where television has replaced parenting, children having turned from brats into rats, parents having superimposed a false persona upon their souls, being enmeshed in a subhuman pursuit of the unreal, failing to see that all is light. Light is all there is. Even though the reflection in the eye, for example, does not always exist, there is a person in the eye who does. Bishop Berkeley and his soulmate Anne Forster realized the wisdom of the human species. It would do them a great honor to drop our prejudices in light of their great wisdom.